Many of you are not winning middleman contracts, losing contracts once you win them. We're going to jump into this. Middleman in the federal government space means you find an opportunity, let's say for janitorial, fire alarm, religious staffing, regular staffing, whatever it is. You subcontract out work and then you keep the money. Easy peasy, find, bid, and win, which I've coined and talked about. However, many of you aren't winning. Many of you are spinning your wheels and you're frustrated and you think, oh, this can't work because of the president. Oh, this can't work because there's too much red tape. Nobody will take my call. I don't know what to do. I need help. So let's break it down. First and foremost, this is business. There's no emotions involved. So the number one reason that many of you are losing middleman is you get caught up in the emotion. I called a vendor, they won't give me a price quote. And then you use that to not move forward. Instead, it's, is this work you can win? Number one, write this down. Is this something you can win? So let me give you an example. I get contacted all the time. Hey, I found this opportunity. It's for 50,000 loaves of bread a week. Is that something you can win? Delivering 50,000 loaves of bread a week. Who's paying for the bread? Can you find somebody to deliver the bread? Does this particular government agency already have a source for the bread? So can you even win it? Why would they go with you is the question. And you may say, oh, well, I have a connect. I got this on lock. I know who to go with. I definitely am able to provide this bread. Who's paying for the bread? Do you have the funds? So let's take a step back and look at what are the three things that are needed for middleman to win. Number one, is there an incumbent? Is there an incumbent? Is somebody doing the work? If so, what is the contract amount for the work? What is the contract number? So here's what happens. Oh, I found this work. It's janitorial. I'm going to go and bid on it. You know, I got these quotes. I'm using AI. I got this. I'm going to win. I saw TikTok. I'm going to sub it out and keep all that money. That's what I'm going to do. And you bid it something crazy, 120,000 for a year. Little did you know, the year before they only paid $40,000 and you bid 120. You're not going to win. But this is where people kind of falter. Well, Kizzy, I reached out. I can't find it. I asked the government. They're not giving me the answer. I don't know. Well, when it's something like janitorial, lawn maintenance, flooring, when it's something really common, you can go on fpds.gov. You can search on USA spending. You can search on ChatGPT. You can search online and find out a range. But what happens instead is people use it to give up. People use it to say, well, it's saturated and because of the president, I can't win nothing. No, it's because you gave up and you're not here to give up. Next, personally, I really don't like if there's a site visit. Number two, no site visit. I don't care if there's a site visit. There's no need to bid on it. It doesn't matter if it comes out today or if it came out 3 weeks ago. Without number one, it makes the next steps really hard. But if there's a site visit, you have to ask yourself, because now you're depending on a vendor to go out and represent you to bring back feedback. Does that mean you can't win? Of course not. I've had Anna, who I interviewed, she won going to a site visit. There have been many who I've interviewed who've gone on to a site visit. If you're going to have somebody go to a site visit, have as many people as you want. What's important is you get information from the site visit, especially if it's a required site visit. If you can go, it's even better. So then you can kind of make yourself stand out. The reason that I'm kind of on the fence about bidding on things for site visits is because it adds another layer. That's it. The third thing for middleman that's important for middleman, we're going to go over more than three. Products versus services. Products versus services. Some will say, well, I just want to win. They want nail files. I'm just going to give them nail files. I'm going to sell products. So here's what you have to think about. It doesn't matter if it's a product or it's a service. Let's break this down. What is the cost? What is the cost to you? Okay, the government needs 10 computers. What is the price for the 10 computers? What is the price? Next, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to pay for these 10 computers? No, you're not going to get a loan from the government. No, you're not going to be able to go to the bank and say, hey, I won this contract, give me a loan. No, they're not going to give you money ahead of time. So then you have to ask yourself, how are you going to pay? It does not matter if we're talking janitorial, we're talking state, federal, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about you finding an opportunity, providing the thing, being able to invoice, you pay the person or company doing the thing, and you keep your profit. But what happens is too many people miss out and skip all of these steps. Somebody will win a contract, go on my free Facebook group talking about, oh, I need money. Oh, I got a bad contract. Here's what happened. No. Recap. Incumbent, price, contract number. Number one. You find the incumbents by emailing and calling the point of contact, by looking on USA Spending, by going to FPDS, by using AI, by going on Sam.Gov. There are ways to find out a price range. Number two, I try to stay away from site visits. Anything that requires a site visit, try to stay away from. Number three, doesn't matter if you're selling products or services, what is the cost? How are you going to pay for it? So if you have bad credit, you may want to hit the pause button if it's really bad, because sometimes a vendor will fund it. So one of my former Ultimate Edge students won a contract shortly following the conclusion of the class, which is really common because sometimes you submit a proposal, it takes time for them to review it. So this particular student has applied to receive funding from the different distributors of the said thing. But this then leads to number 4/5, cost, expenses, profit. And this is again where many falter. Okay, what is the cost for the 10 computers? What are the other expenses? Did you include tax? If it's a product, if it's a person, 1099, is there a fee if they have to wait? Do they charge additional fees if it's at different hours? Is there shipping if it's a product? Did you include your profit? Cost, expenses, profit all need to be wrapped into the price, the pricing that you give to the federal government or the state and local. But what happens is people forget, oh man, I forgot to include tax. Working it in, however. Oh, I forgot to include shipping. Oh man, I didn't realize that I have employees and I got to include payroll tax. And some are asking about, is it harder to get a contract the middle of the year? This is another reason why people don't win middleman contracts. And this is how you do win middleman contracts. Understanding the fiscal years. The fiscal years. October, November, December is quarter one. January, February, March, quarter two. April, May, June, quarter three. July through September is quarter four. Think of it similarly to Christmas shop. Most people wait until Christmas Eve, Christmas morning, 2 days before Christmas, Black Friday, Cyber Monday to buy their gifts. The government's very similar. They usually will purchase sometimes 30% of things from their budget, quarter four, July, August, September. So these are the magical times, because if they're needing HVAC and flooring and ceiling stuffs and roofs and food for the prisons, they're looking to buy. So having all of this down is really important, or else you're not gonna be able to win. So to win, it's key to know that definitely in the fourth quarter, there's more opportunities, but it doesn't matter the quarter. What matters is you follow these instructions. But many don't want to. Well, Kizzy got a quote for speaker install, and this is what they gave me. That's another situation. Let's make this number 7. Is heavily reliant on a subcontractor for 7, and that is pricing. We got to do more thinking. Hey, I'm just really curious. You gave me this pricing. What profit did you guys add? You get sometimes 10 price quotes. Split the difference. Because if somebody's giving you a quote of $5,000 for the thing and you're adding $2,000, chances are you're going to lose because of number 8. And these aren't in a particular order of importance necessarily. What's important is you're doing the thing. And that is Evaluation. Number 8, what is the evaluation criteria? How are they going to decide who they want to go with? So again, people get caught up on, oh, I was going to subcontract out the work, add my profit, take my money, and be gone. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to win, you ain't going to get it figured out, you didn't ask any of these questions, and you're not going to have a blessing, but you're going to have a burden. And that's what's going to happen to you. And I'm here to help you. So you don't have a burden, but you have a blessing. But to have a blessing, how are they going to make a decision? If they tell you lowest price, here's what they mean. Lowest price is the lowest price. Think Shein, Dollar Tree, dollar store. If it's based on a resume, you have to get a resume of the person or persons to do the thing. If they say technical, you can use AI, but you have to be able to explain how you're going to do the thing. If they say past performance, yes, you can often use your subcontractors, but not always. What's important is having a clear understanding. You know, I just had a student, he won more work. He's won well over $1 million. I've had people in my DMs writing me. I had somebody literally write me on LinkedIn talking about they won their first contract in 2011. They stopped doing government contracting, just recently started again watching my content and won. There's no shortage of opportunities. What the shortage is thinking, doing, learning, applying, and adjusting. People just don't want to do it. They're just like, oh, this is what it all says. I subcontract out the work. I have my profit. I get my money. It doesn't matter if you take a middleman course in person, online, you read a book, you use AI, you don't use AI. If you miss any of these things I'm sharing with you, it's going to be a burden. And if you understand that, if this is clear, type yes. Number 9, I put pay, contract agreement, or more for number 9. Here's how that works. When you contact them, hey, I'm looking for somebody to replace the HVAC, service the smoke detectors, service the elevator, replace the door. I'm looking to fill this position. This is where the important conversations need to happen. Hey, you know, I just want to let you know that, you know, I'm the procurement specialist at JT Government Services, and we typically pay 30 days after we're paid. I just want to make sure that works for you. I don't know about that. That's not going to work. You know, we need the money up front. Okay, well, I'm not able to do that. You could have these conversations and maybe negotiate. Maybe you say, can I give you $1,000 as a good faith payment once we win? But you have to have the discussion, because if you don't have the discussion, it's going to be a burden. And ask them, what fees? Can you please make sure you've included every single fee in here? There's no surprises. There's no going back. There's no, oh, I didn't tell you, I'm going to charge you a waiting fee. No, player ain't no waiting fee. While there's this popular notion, you can pay them in 30 days. Not everyone will say yes to that. This leads us to number 10. Don't assume. You cannot assume. And I think often people in this space assume because people are like, oh, it's so easy. Look at what I won. And I'm not, I still firmly believe winning a government contract is super easy. It's not hard. The part that people misconstrue is they think of it on their terms. I really want you to sit with that. They think of it on their terms. Oh, I'll pay you when I want to pay you. Oh, I don't need to give you any kind of agreement. Oh, the government, I'm going to deliver and they're just going to pay me. Okay. So next is what's required to submit. What is required? Do they want pricing? Do they want you to fill out an SF 1449? What is it that they want you to submit? 99% of the time they will tell you. So what's required to submit? So typically when you submit, you're going to give them a title page. Y'all should be writing this down. Title page. Any kind of standard form, SF, any kind of forms that they require, any amendment forms that they have. They also will often ask for your reps and certs. You can download those off of Sam.Gov or fill out the ones that they ask. Easily download it. You can add that as an appendix. Next is you're going to do an About Us section. You're going to give them any technical information. So with the technical information, it could be, I'm the president of JoJo's procurement. I'm partnering with Sandra's cleaning. The main point of contact will be blah, blah, blah. Here are the people or the person assigned to clean this space. And you can even have AI create an org chart for you. So you can put like owner of this, point of contact here, here. Boom. And then if they ask you to talk about how you're going to clean the space, this is where you can use AI as well as the sub, and you can include pictures. This is a great idea to do that. But also, you always have to go back to number 8, the evaluation criteria. If they're telling you it's based on price and you know that the price is too high, then why are we even playing? Don't submit anything crazy because you're not going to win. Also, if they ask for past performance, this is where you include it. Sometimes they're very specific. Sometimes they give you past performance questionnaires. It always varies. When it comes to past performance, it's often a good idea to ask. It's a really good idea to ask, like, can you use the past performance of your sub? I was looking at something recently for, it might be like 90 nurses or 50 nurses in medical positions. And they basically said, you can use 3 past performances. We're not going to look at more. Don't give us more than 3. Why? Because people don't want to follow instructions. That's number 12. Yeah, follow instructions, y'all. This is why you're not winning middleman. This is how you win middleman. Follow the instructions. If they say 3 past performances, 2 from the prime, 1 from a sub, that's what you can do. If they don't say, ask to clarify. Hey, I just want to confirm, Mr. Smith, that I can submit past performances from a subcontractor. It's just do that. But again, people fall on number 10. They're assuming too much. You can't assume. You can't assume, oh, all you do is subcontract out the work, put in your profit, get paid. You don't want that. So let's go back to number 11. Required to submit the proposal. So I have proposal.wins.com that you can take a look at. And when it comes to a proposal, first and foremost, it's mindset. It's that belief that, oh my God, it's a proposal. I got that. So you got to overcome that. Who cares? Moving on. Next. Doesn't have to be perfect. All you have to do is give them what they ask for. If a proposal typically wants 3 volumes and past performance and all of these things, often we go all the way back to the very beginning of this video. Can you even win this? If you're traumatized by what's required for the proposal, then I would say time to move on. Don't bid on it. It's easy as that. One of my Ultimate Edge students, guess what she sells, y'all? Electric bikes and trikes. And here's the other thing about middleman. It's a dual. Product management, CS and PM. Customer service and project management. When you win as the prime, it is all on you. So that means my particular UE student, who I also interviewed, Cheryl, if there was something wrong with the bike, she had to handle it. She didn't say, well, ain't my bike. Oh God, if the bike arrived damaged, she wasn't like, nah, I ain't gonna fix that. And I get it, and I laugh because I've gone through these things. I can more than relate. It's not to poke any of you in the eye. It's to prevent you from being in a position where the win becomes a burden. These should be blessings. Blessings, y'all. Blessings. Same thing works if it's an electrical contract. If it's staffing, it doesn't matter. If the person says, I can't come in there tomorrow, you got to handle that. I don't know about this electrical work. It seems a little different than what I signed up for. You got to handle that. You can't just say, well, I have a subcontractor out of my profit. Yes. Product management, customer service, project management. It's always focusing on the client, period. This leads us to number 14. You are the boss. If you want to submit your own price quote, cool. You want to pay somebody on Venmo, cool. I don't advise it. You want to not send the right paperwork, cool. You want to not do the contract, cool. You want to do the contract, cool. You want to have Gmail, cool. You want to have a website, cool. You are the boss. I was just in Traverse City eating at this diner that I think was started in the 20s or 30s. I don't know. But I overheard this lady, who I'm assuming is the owner, and she said to the couple behind us, and she was like, yeah, I don't have no business card. I don't have a website. We got more than enough business. I beg to differ because I didn't see a Keith Lee line and the place wasn't popping. But guess what? Number 14. She is the boss. It's not my business. She's the boss. You are the boss. She don't want a website and business card? God bless you, baby girl. That's what's important to realize. Which then brings us to number 15. NDA Sub Agreement PO. I'm just going to call it paperwork, y'all. So when you are teaming with somebody, when somebody other than you or an employee of yours is doing the thing, okay, you need a non-disclosure agreement, a subcontract agreement, and a purchase order. So hear me out. If I say, I need somebody to install curtains. Like we bid on one for the FBI to install curtains. So curtain company A, here's a subcontract agreement. You will install the curtains between these hours and these hours. You will get paid $70,000 within this amount of time through Bill.com. You need to sign up for Bill.com. Here's a purchase order that says you're going to be paid $70,000 in Bill.com. You don't need to send an invoice. Why? I'm the boss. This is how I like to run my business. But they know they're getting $70,000. They can only install during certain times. There's no room for adjustment. They can't say, but kid, nope. And then the purchase order is automatically generated through QuickBooks. If you don't have any of this, use AI. And it can create one for you. The whole reason behind number 15, proper paperwork, is you don't want any surprises because ultimately you are the boss, but they can't read your mind and you don't want to be screwed over. And also in there, are you going to pay the people if they do a crazy job with the HVAC? No, you need to add in there. Y'all ready for number 16? I'm going to call it sign off. You got to sign off like you have a written document. Hey, we inspected the HVAC. The government said it was okay. I'm signing off and confirming your work was acceptable. And I can go ahead and issue you payment per our agreement. Hey, you were to deliver the gravel, the government got it, signing off, here's the signed document stating that everything is good. Because also what you don't want is 3 weeks from now, hey, is this E-Herald? Yeah, this is E-Herald. Yeah, I'm calling about that gravel. From 3 weeks ago, yeah, we're missing gravel. But when you have a document where they signed off, they are saying to you, yes, we received it. It is up to par. We agree that everything's great. You can invoice us. It's like, oh, okay, well, that's great. But Sergeant so-and-so or Mr. so-and-so or Mrs. so-and-so signed the form 3 weeks ago stating all the gravel was great. So if you want more gravel, I can get it for you, because they will do that. There was a time when I worked at Harvey's, and you know what people would do? They will order a family meal. They'd get like a 12-piece, 24-piece, 8 pieces of it, call the restaurant talking about, oh, the chicken's all messed up, and come back and get more chicken. Maybe there was something wrong with the chicken. Maybe there wasn't. All I know is you ate 8 pieces of a 12-piece and what? So people do unscrupulous things. I'm not suggesting the government's doing unscrupulous things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you got to cover yourself. Nowadays, restaurants are going to be quick to be like, oh, that's fine, we'll just replace it, right? But not everybody does that. Or maybe there was a miscommunication with the government. Maybe the person who called you had no idea that Mr. So-and-so or Sergeant so-and-so or Colonel so-and-so signed off. Maybe they didn't know, but you got to cover yourself. Why? Number 14, you are the boss. You are the boss. You got to cover yourself. At the end of the day, y'all, is learning, applying, adjusting. I'm not here to anything to anybody. It's learning, applying, adjusting. I see it all as learning and learning tax. The only time anything is messed up is when a person doesn't believe in themselves enough to even try. That's just messed up. Because in my opinion, we're all beautiful gifts from God, and there's no reason to not try. So the thing you have to ask yourself is, what is your goal? What is your goal with government contracting? Number 2, make sure you have a cage code. Make sure you have a physical address, an EIN. You can bid on local contracts. You can bid on contracts anywhere you desire, because the next thing you want to know is, what do you want to bid on? Federal, state, local, bid on anything you desire. But it doesn't change the 16 things that I've discussed today. What's most important to all of this is you have to make it work. You have to be able to deliver it. Whatever you win, you have to be able to deliver it. Self-reflection. And I'm going to make this number 17. I'm at this point of self-reflecting on a lot of things. I don't want to go into all of it because, y'all who know, I'm going to start crying and everything. But it's been a lot. It's really been a lot. And so it's like, I just know there's so many things I'm not doing well. And this is hard to admit. For some, not for me, because I've done a lot of work. 18 is, it's okay to be okay. You don't have to be perfect in this space. Your proposal doesn't have to be perfect. I submitted proposals in one and put the wrong agency. Some people may watch this and be like, see, that's but what's perfect? They recall food all the time. They recall cars. People are like, oops, I'm sorry. Why is that okay? But we have to be perfect? It's okay if some things slide as long as you communicate, okay? That's what's important. Some trends that I found, I would make this number 19, is once you win, you have to communicate. You basically need to over-communicate. You need to over-communicate. Make sure they're aware of when you're delivering it, how it will be delivered, when the person's going to start, the name of the person who's starting. Have a kickoff call, have different calls with them. It's really, really, really important to have these conversations, because what often happens is a person will win. They're not really sure what's going on. Some things will happen, and maybe the contract option year is not exercised, or maybe their contract is terminated for convenience. Maybe there's some terms in the contract that agency isn't doing, and because of that whole notion that it's the federal government, right? People are hesitant to even bring it up, to talk about it. So you want to make sure that you are communicating, because if not, you're going to be in for a surprise. And you never want to be in for a surprise. And here's the most important, number 20. How do you get paid? How do you get paid? How do you get paid? You got to confirm with them. Hey, in this contract, it says I go through the PI system. Is that correct? Should I also send you a copy of the invoice? Is there a preference that you have for the invoice? Hey, should I also include with the invoice the sign-off form that we talked about, number 16? Should I include a copy of it so you know that I've delivered what you wanted? Okay, that's super important to do. The government's not just going to pay you. 20 different things to take in consideration to win middleman. And this isn't even everything. I know people are like, oh, there's 3, or you subcontract away and keep the profits. I understand all of that, but there's more to it than that. What if the sub backs out? What if they put your work on hold? What if the employee you had decides they don't want to do the job? What happens if there's tariffs? Check out proposal.wins.com. winnerswaybook.com, proposal that wins. You guys are great. Take care, y'all. Take care, y'all. Everything is possible.